So, welcome back to my channel. So, today I'm going to teach you about the create query, which is the come as a create command under the data definition language. Before that, you must be have gone through the previous video where I have gone through the slide like a sub languages of SQL, where they have the data definition language, data manipulation language, data query language. So under this three language, there are comes a commands like create, alter, truncate, drop, insert, update, delete, select. So this all commands comes under the this whole three kind of language. So in data definition language, we can see that I come a create, alter, truncate, drop. Okay, so this in this data definition language, I'm going to teach you first one is the create command. So before going to execute, before understand what's a create command, you have to first know how to create a database. If you don't know, you just look at my previous video and you can easily understand how to create database in the MySQL workbench. So this command is like a MySQL that comes in a query of how to create a database like commands like create database for database name, show database and use database name. So these all commands are required to create a simple database. Okay, so you need a database for what purpose? So that you can add so many data in one database. So to add a so many data in one database, you need one database. So we can see here the SQL is a structured query language. If you need to create a one data in the database in a structure format, you need some table. So to create some table, you need to learn how to do a query. So you need to, how to play with the database. You need some commands and you need to know how to execute that query in a practical way. So knowing theoretical is good, fine. You must be knowing knowledge or you must be good in that. But that not enough. You must have also a practical knowledge where you can create this SQL query. So while going this practically, then only you will understand how to create a database, inside a database, how to create a data, well data when creating, we can create only one table or can we create a multiple tables? Yeah, you can create your multiple tables because in the database there's so many tables we can create so that we can interconnect with that this all this tables. So to connect this all tables from one relationship to another relationship, there comes some point like one to many, many to one. But that's afterwards. Afterwards, I'll teach you about it. But for us, first you have to understand how to create a query, how to create a query. So that how to create a table. For that we need a create query. So the create query comes under a data definition language, which I'm going to teach you now. So let us go to the MySQL workbench. Now through this MySQL workbench, you can now see the that already I have created the database called school. If you want to see my databases, you can just click on this button and execute. You can see there are lots of databases till now which I have created. But if you don't want this all database to get executed and you want to need only one database to create a data in that one database, you can use this command as use database name. So use database name means now I have database name as my database is a school. I have just created for you that is database name as a school. So if you want to create a database name as a school, if you want to execute data in that database, you have to give a command that use school. Don't use any other database. I want you to execute the data in the database of use school. Then only you can create this. Okay. So after that, there comes in a create query. The create query comes under data definition language, which I told you. So to create, why this create query comes for us? Because we want to create a data. So to create a data means not we can't create anyhow you want. You want to create a data in a table format. For that, you need a query to create a table at least so that you can insert all this data into one table. Okay. So for that, you need a create table name, and in that you have seen the query command in the slide. So in that way I'm teaching you. Okay, so create table name is I have created now as a student. So under the school database, there comes one table as a student where there comes as a columns. These are the column name, student ID, and this is the data type int. So ID is a number, so it comes as an int. You must be aware about it. And first name is the column name. That is also column name, which of the second column name, and which has a varchar 50. You can take your care varchar, but depend on you. If you want the static, if you want the static and don't want a dynamic mail, if you don't want to means I want this care. If I put your care as 50, then you can only put the 50 alphabet in the first name. You can't increase your character size above 50, which has shown here. But I don't want that way. I want a sub dynamic. If I want, I can go above 50 also. For that, we can put as a varchar. Okay, varchar as a dynamic. Last name as a column name, and this is varchar as a 50, and the school team is a column name varchar 20 data type. Okay, and data type size, and date of birth where it is shown as a date format. So the date is the data type. Okay, so this is how we create a table of the student. The same goes here also. We have created a table for the teacher. You can see column name, data type, column name, data type, and in this is how, as so on, I have created the two tables like a student and teacher. Now you can see I have created already the table of a student. Now if you want to see the table, you want to see this table of the structure, you can just click on the describe student. Means not a click, you can just write the command as a describe student, and just you can execute this, and you can get as a type feed type. Okay, you can see student ID int, first name varchar, last name varchar. Okay, here Addison and insert the data. So there also comes a query for inserting the data in the table. But before that, you have to know how to create a data of the table. You need to know how to create a table. So for that, you have to know the create query. That comes a create table, table name, column name, data type, and so on. You can create how many that column name you want. Okay. For now, I have created this many column name and data types along with that. Now that comes in and if you want to see how many tables are coming under this school database, you can write show a tables. Like show a database, same goes to your show a tables. And you can write student and teacher. Okay. Here also same, you want to describe the structure of this column, this table name as a teacher, you can just write here. In this thing, describe teacher, and you can execute this. So this is how we are creating the table inside the database. Okay, so why we are creating this table, we later on you will understand it. But now for now you have understood how to do a programming in SQL. The first step is creating a table, creating database. Second step is creating a table. Okay, so that comes in sublanguage. In sublanguage, first command is the create a table. Okay, then only you can execute the other queries. Otherwise, you can't execute the other queries of the sublanguages of the SQL. So for the first query, you have to compulsory mandatory execute the first command as a create a table. Okay, so this is how the SQL programming of the create query have been executed and have been I have shown how it is practically it is working on, and this is all about the queries, how to create table, and the how to show the tables in the database, and how to see the table structure. So describe is a table structure, we can see show tables, we can see how many tables are coming inside database, and create table name inside a parenthesis that comes column name and data type size. So this is how we create a table. For that we need a create command. So I hope you have understood now how to create a table command, a table, and to this command, and how to see the table list, and how to see the table structures. Okay, so this is how today's lecture about the create a query, create query, so that we can create a table inside a database. Thank you.